Hey guys, how you doing? Okay, this time let's talk about companions. Um, their pluses and minuses, who you should use, when you should use them, and what's the best way to take advantage of companions if you decide to go with companions. Now, first of all, this is on Supernova, and I'm only talking about the higher difficulties. On normal or story, you can do whatever you want. Okay, it's not going to make a huge difference. The game is easy enough that it's just not a major consideration. Okay, so I could say now with 7 playthroughs, 2 normal, 5 supernova, I can say without a doubt that Lone Wolf is more powerful in terms of combat. In terms of flexibility, Companion Run is better. So your first choice is decide, do you want to go Lone Wolf or do you want to go a Companion play? Maybe you have role-playing reasons. Fine, knock yourself out. I'm not going to address role-playing concerns. This is a metagame, power game perspective. We're going to be looking at the numbers. We're going to be looking at the systems, and inevitably that's going to lead you to, you're going to have to think about your build. Okay, what do you want to be, and how do you want to get things done? Okay, if you want to be a talker, chances are companions is your stronger play. And that's because companions give really large boosts to 3 skills. And we're going to talk about those 3 skills. But every single one of them gives a dialogue option. Okay, you have 2 persuade companions, that's Felix and Parvati. You have 2 intimidate, that's Max and Sam. And you have 2 lie, that's Ellie and Nyoka. So obviously you can't um, you can't cover all 3. You can cover 2, or you can severely overstack 1. I always go with 2, and I always go with, I almost always go Felix and Sam, and I'll get to that later. So if you want to be a smooth talker, you probably want to go with companions. It's harder to do with Lone Wolf. Let's look at the Lone Wolf, because this invariably is a discussion of Lone Wolf versus companion. This is my gunslinger, and he's a companion build. But Lone Wolf, right here, this is the perk. This is your class slash build defining perk, right? And then this is the next one, soliloquy. So it's plus 10 to all 3 dialogue skills. That's nice. That's not bad at all. And then the final one is minus 33% detection radius of enemies. It's really nice. It makes you a lot sneakier. So, um, you're getting plus 25% damage right out the gate. So that's great. But so Lone Wolf is stronger in combat than Companion. Period. End of discussion. For you, the player's damage output will be at its highest if you're Lone Wolf. Now, your team damage, that's a different discussion. Okay, you can get a lot of damage, and you can get a lot of crowd control and shaping the battle, if you will, from your companions. The companion abilities are very strong, they're very powerful, and you can sex them up in very interesting ways. If you're going to do a companion play, I strongly recommend this, Precision. Okay, that'll get your companion's crit chance up. The next thing you want to consider for companion play perk-wise is going to be, I don't think any of these are particular interest. So yeah, this is really nice. So every time you get a kill, a companion ability can refresh, but this is only good in longer fights. In normal fights, the fight isn't going to last long enough for this to pop back up. So, approach this with caution. And these, it's going to be the same argument, right? So it's just 25% chance. I usually don't take them. If you're going to do a pure leadership build where you're relying entirely on your companions and you're not doing much if any of the in combat work, maybe you need these. I haven't done a leadership build, full disclosure. And then this is again, it's a 1 in 4 chance. You know, I'd approach these two with caution. So for companions, if you're on Supernova, there's a must-have, and it's this. This works. This works brilliantly. Okay. One of your major problems in Supernova is going to be keeping your companions alive, and this solves that problem. It removes the problem. I wouldn't take this at 20 or 22 when Tier 3 unlocks. It's going to unlock at 20 if you get a flaw early. But on Supernova, this is a must-have for a companion play. There's really not a lot else in here perk-wise that I think you absolutely positively have to have for, this perk-wise. This is fantastic, okay? This is the best perk in the game, period. This and toughness, okay? These are the two perks that are going to be in every single one of my builds, okay? Non-negotiable. At 2, I take toughness. At 22 or 20, I take Armor Master. End of discussion. So yeah, those are the perks that pertain to companions. The skills that pertain to companions, of course, there's only 2, and this is the most important. Not for the passive, although the passive is fine. I have doubled my companion damage bonus. That's great. You need 20 minimum to get these special abilities. Okay. 40 is fine. Extra 20% of their armor. Sure, I'll take it. 60. That's what we're talking about. Plus 100% to companion buff. Let me show you what I'm talking about. We are going to... God, this guy's slow. Okay, so I got Sam, and let's grab Felix, because these are my 2 favorites. Come on, game. And don't turn off my mic. Crouching is useful. Yeah, it does shit.
Hey, okay. We need to talk.
Yeah, I don't want to talk to you, emo, whatever. Okay, so let's take a look at my skills, and you'll see why 60 inspiration is so important. Take a gander at that. Did you like that? Does that strike you as interesting? Yeah, that's amazing. So that's plus 40 from Felix. Okay. And then that's plus 20 from Chimera. And then this is his perk. So let me show you. So yeah, I did this. Maybe I shouldn't have, but I did it. This is really nice. Let's not get into that right now. Dang it. Dang it. Okay, come on, user interface. Okay, so look at my sneak. Take 5 point off for the drink. Okay, look at my hack. I can easily hit 100 hack. I got 100 lockpick. I have 143 sneak. I have 145 science. I mean, damn. You know, that is absolutely amazing. So yeah, check this stuff out here. I have, look at that, 9 intimidate buffed to 76. Okay, that is a ton of skill points that I'm getting, buffed. It's just fantastic. So yeah, 60 inspiration. Okay, so determination. Determination is not garbage. I'm not saying it's garbage. So you need a minimum of 20 determination. So you're healing your companions. You're not healing them for much, but you're healing them. And then plus 20% of their crit damage. Sure. 60. That's fine. I have no problem with that one, especially in Supernova. Help you keep them up. Resolve. What are your companions doing going down? You know, yikes. Master? I don't, eh, you know, I don't, I don't want to spend that much. Now, you know, if I understand the system correctly, they'd be getting an additional 1300 health. That's a lot. So, you know, this buffs their damage, this buffs their health. So survivability and now what I like to do on my companion plays is I prefer this armor right here. You can tinker it to very high armor levels, and it's with Armor Master, it's plus 14 to determination. So, you know, it makes your companions a little bit tougher. In terms of gearing out your companions, um, the best way to play it is to go for maximum armor factor in the upper right hand corner. Okay, as big as armor factor as you can get them, but you need to be careful with these negatives and these skill buffs. Okay, -5 to stealth skills is really hurtful to Felix because of Felix, what he gives you, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But in terms of gear, um, give them the highest armor factor armor you can give them, and the highest armor factor armor that buffs one of the skills they give you. Okay, so Felix gives Persuade, Sneak, and Lockpick. So plus to Stealth, right? Plus to Persuade. That's the stuff you want to put on Felix if you can swing it. If you can't swing it, get a big chunky piece of heavy armor, smack it on him, and go on with your life. Okay? Head armor. We're going to discuss this more in my armor video, but head armor is not as important as body armor. You don't get hit in the head that often. When you do, it's problematic. I'm not going to lie to you. But you can get away with less armor on the head if you like the buffs. And again, for your companions, you want the buffs to be one of those 3 skills they donate to you because it is expressed through to you. We're talking like 5 points, and you might need those 5 points. Now, if you don't, if you're way overbuffed on Lockpick and Sneak, then slap Felix in heavy armor because you don't care. Okay? Weapon-wise, I haven't seen any data to convince me that this matters. You can put your favorite gun. You can role play it. You can balance out your group. However, in Supernova, you do not want these people in melee range. They will get annihilated. Okay? You want them setting back at range, and so you come here to their AI behaviors, and you change them to ranged, and you change them to medium or far. They don't do that well on far. They work better on medium, if you ask me. I have messed around with this. Aggressive is fine. Okay, everybody says, oh, you gotta put them on passive. Man, you put them on passive, and they don't do it. They just stand there until you order them to attack. I can't be bothered with that. Give them a ranged weapon, set them to medium, slap a bunch of armor on them, and just be careful with them. Be careful where you position them. Okay? So that's gear. Let's talk about skills. And in order to do that, let's look at all the companions at once because we need to discuss these guys as a 6-pack, not one at a time, because they come in basically 3 groups. Okay, 3 groups of 2. So let's take a look at them. Okay, so our 3 groups of 2. Here's Ellie. So let's just start with Ellie. She's my least favorite. I don't take Ellie. I never use Ellie. I don't like her at all, coming or going. And I'll start with her skills. I think her skills are crap. Okay, engineering is one of the most useless skills in the game. Raising your engineering skill reduces the number of armor parts and weapon parts needed to repair your equipment. That's it. Okay, that's all her engineering buff gets you, is using fewer parts on repairs. You're going to have armor and weapon parts coming out of your ears. You don't need this. Engineering's worthless. It's worthless buffing it via companions. There's some semi-decent, I guess, okay tier bonuses in here. You need a minimum of 20. Gotta have 20. Every build should have 20 engineering. But 40, 20% chance to get a basic mod. Basic mods are plentiful. They're everywhere. They're cheap. Um, they're not that useful late game. Bleh. Um, 60. A chance to get a pristine. I don't care about pristine. Again, gear doesn't wear down that fast. That's the only benefit or attraction of pristine. I guess maybe you'd make more money a little bit, but are you seriously going to try and repair every single thing you pick up to turn it into a pristine? Then you're going to be out of armor parts and weapon parts. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. And then 80, breaking down armor for a 10% chance to extract a rare mod. 10? One chance in 10? No, no. The 100, that's fine. Plus 20%. I'm not going to blow 80, 90, whatever points to get plus 20% versus robots. It's just not that important. If you know how to fight Ram at the end, he's killable even on Supernova. Can he be a challenge? He certainly can be. It depends on your build, depends on your tactics, depends on your knowledge. Okay. But if you play it right, you play it smart. I've died to Ram once in 7 playthroughs. So, So I don't like engineering. Lie is fine. If it's a role-playing choice, it's a power gaming choice, whatever. So if you want a lie buff, you might want to think about Ellie. But Ellie's other skill is medical, and again, I don't think medical's that important. Okay. So your tier bonuses, 20 and 40 is fine. Okay, as you can see, I always get the 20 and 40, but that's because I always go for 100 science. I'm not intentionally raising medical. It just happens along the way, right? Same thing with the engineering. I didn't put a single point into engineering. I raised tech to get science to 50, and these guys just tagged along, right? So the 60, if your build is heavily dependent on burns or bleeds or N-ray, okay, this increases the duration. It doesn't increase the magnitude of each pulse of the duration. So, is this really that useful? I mean, if you're using the flamethrower on them, the burn effect is being constantly reapplied. If you're using an N-ray weapon on them, chances are you're still shooting them. I don't think that's really that good. Unlock the 4th drug mixing slot. I really don't need 4 drugs on my inhaler. I guess it'd be fine. And then the damage bonus to humans, plus 20%. Again, in this case, I'm not going to burn 53 skill points for plus 20% versus humans. It's just not worth it. So yeah, Ellie, not a fan. Just not impressed. I don't like her skill loadout. Her special move is fine. I have no problem with her special. So yeah, no thank you. Felix. Felix is excellent. Really, really nice. Now again, Felix's loadout matches my build. In this case, I am a sneaky gunslinger, and so I like Persuade. I like talking my way out of things using Persuade. I use Sneak, so this is nice, and I like Lockpick. So this is a really good loadout for me, okay? So Ellie matches Nyoka, okay? So you want to compare Ellie to Nyoka, and for Nyoka, you get Lie, just like Ellie. Now you get Sneak, which is fine if you're sneaky, if you're a stealth character, and Medical, which again, I don't think Medical is all that great passive. I don't think it's a really important skill that needs to be buffed with a passive buff. And I don't think the tier buffs are all that important. And just in case you don't know, you don't get the tier unlocks from these passive companion buffs or from gear buffs. You only get the tier unlocks if you spend points in it. Okay? So, Nyoka. I should take a look at Ellie, let me hold on one second. Let's look at Ellie's skills here. Okay, so plus 10 to medical. Ugh. No, thank you. I almost always go healthy on all my companions. Okay, plus 20% heal from the medical inhaler. I mean that's not garbage. I just think there are better choices, i.e., this. Get some more damage output out of her, and again, set her to range. And then this one down here. What the hell are you doing dying? Okay, you shouldn't be dying. The game's not that hard. You don't need this. Um, I guess if you die, take this, but don't die. You know, get good. So I usually take this on her because this is fine. I always take this on every single companion. It doesn't matter who it is. This is fantastic. And again, this is Lone Wolf. Okay, on normal and story, who cares? Throw your points. Just throw it at the damn wall. Whatever sticks, that's what you take. Normal and story are so easy. This is irrelevant. Um, Now, on Supernova, you've got to have this. This brings your companions back to life, okay, if they've died, once every 15 minutes, okay? And then for your final pick, I strongly suggest stand your ground, okay? So they'll stack up and add some armor on them. And again, remember from perks, I told you to take um, this. Don't give up, don't go dying on me. Absolutely critical. Okay, this will give you 2 heals every 15 minutes. Two resurrections every 15 minutes. So very, very important. Okay, so that's pretty much Ellie in a nutshell. Let's look at Nyoka. She has this very similar skill set to Ellie, so it's kind of like it's Ellie and Nyoka, it's Felix and Parvati, it's Sam and Max. Okay, so those are your groups, and I recommend you split them up. Take one from each group of 2. So yeah, she's lie, just like Ellie. She's sneak, so if you're sneaky, that's useful. If you're not, it's not so useful. And then medical, I don't like medical. I don't think it's that good. Now she's got some interesting perks. This could help you if you need more dialogue buff. I always take this. Very important. I like this. That would be fine. If you're really into sneak, sure, I could see taking this. I'd rather take this, but sure. And this is really good. This is really good for Monarch, which is where you find her. She's an excellent companion on Monarch for this perk, and that's why it's on her right now. And again, on Supernova, you must have Shake It Off, and you must have Second Wind. Okay, I highly recommend this. But yeah, this one over here. Again, I'm not real big on effect duration. I don't think it's all that great. I might go here if I was sneaky. I might go here if I wanted better lie checks. Just depends on how important lie is to it. It depends on, you know, I mean, do you care? Do you care if you're using persuade or intimidate or lie? Because it's kind of a role playing choice. A lot of times you'll get 2 dialogue options pop up. You might get a persuade and an intimidate, or you might get a persuade and a lie. Um, and that's to give you role playing options on how you want to solve that particular dialogue node. So yeah, whatever. So let's go back to Felix and let's talk about spec. Well, let's look at his skills. So he's persuade as opposed to the other 2 were lie. The other persuade is Parvati. He's sneak like Nyoka, so they have that in common. Whereas Parvati has engineering, which is ugh. And he has lockpick, which is wonderful, fantastic skill to have. Really, really nice skill. And what'll happen with him buffing the hell out of your lockpick is you won't burn mag picks. It's really nice. For somebody with a 20 lockpick, it might take 5 picks, and then you buff it to 100, and it's 0. So something to think about. And then let's look at his spec. Once again, I take this because I do a lot of persuade checks. It's just my preferred dialogue choice, but I always take healthy. Love healthy. This is really nice. And I don't think these are, you know, if you want your companion to tank for you, boisterous, man, let me tell you something. You better have a lot of determination, okay? And you better have them in really good armor. Because from what I've seen, nobody but Sam can take a hit in this game when it comes to companions. And we'll get to that in a moment. But, so yeah, I'd be really careful about these. I don't like this. And this is great late game. If you're going to take him into the pit, this is an incredibly strong perk. Really, 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 really good. Um, and then, of course, I always take Shake It Off, and I always take Second Wind, again, for Supernova. Okay? Now, if you don't want to take Felix, your other option is Pravarti. Um, so Pravarti is Persuade like Felix, Lockpick like Felix, but she's Engineering instead of Sneak. And again, I think Engineering is useless. You know, I think a passive buff to Engineering is a complete waste of everyone's time. And I'm not talking about your role-playing decisions. This is a power game, meta game. This is a structural. This is an examination of the systems, not role-playing considerations. If you love Pravarti and you just like having her in your group, do it. It hurt my feelings. Okay, I mean you're getting lockpick and persuade. Those are two good skills. Um, so how to spec her? Um, bleh, bleh. I think your only choice here is healthy. Whoop-de-doo. Oh, all right, whatever. It's not that great. Plus to range. This is tiny. That's inconsequential. I would never take this. And on Supernova, you don't want them in melee. I'm telling you. Range. Um, this is fine. I like this. I use TTD on my gunslingers and my snipers. So sure, this is a solid pick. This is a solid pick. You know, whichever. Come in here. Um, really? Eh, nah. No. Again, you always take this, and yes, please, second wind. And I took this on her, makes her tankier. Okay, I could, I could never see taking those, never. So that's Pravarti. So let's get into the final big discussion, and that's between Max and Sam. Max and Sam are very similar. They're intimidate, hack, and science. They're identical. Okay, so in terms of what they buff, there's no difference. Okay. Intimidate is a perfectly fine, viable dialogue choice. Sometimes it's fun to intimidate certain NPCs at certain points. Hack is great. I don't have a problem with buffing hack skill. Um, in terms of the hack skill itself, you need 20. Okay, you need 20 to be able to sell. 40 is not bad. Unlock access to restricted items and vending machines. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Hack auto mechanicals for 3 seconds. Auto mechanical detection range. Increase your hack auto mechanic. Those are all really weak. You know. Now passively buffing hack is really nice because that's what you need to get into terminals. Okay. If the terminal requires 100 hack, let's say you've only got a 20 hack. But if you've got, or maybe not 20, but 40, you could probably hack the terminal. Because I think he gives you half with the inspiration bonus. I think he gives you half, and you can hit 100 hack easily with your companions. So yeah, intimidate, hack, science. Science is really important. I almost always take science to 100. 40, 60, or 100. Those are nothing less than 40 ever, ever. So buffing your science skill up is just fine, and there's nothing wrong with that. So these are three solid skill buffs, um, very very complementary to either Felix or Pravati. Um, and they're complementary to Ellie and Nyoka. It's just Ellie and Nyoka focus on medical, which I think is garbage, and so and Ellie gives engineering, which is double garbage. Nyoka, on the other hand, you got the medical, but then you got two good ones in here. Nyoka is a stronger pick than Ellie, in my opinion. So yeah, so here's Vicar Max again, and you can see these are nice. How to spec him? Um, no, no, I'm not doing that. This is a really good perk, really good pick. Um, no, making him cower more? No, no. Again, you want him in range to help keep him alive. Okay, this is a good perk if you're using science weapons. Okay, so if you're using science weapons, get 100 science, take this perk, put him in your group, and you're good. Okay, this is nice. This is very nice. This is good too. Okay, I'm not using science weapons in this particular build, so I didn't take it. Again, always take Shake It Off and always take Second Wind, and strongly consider stand your ground. Okay, now let's get to the best, and that's Sam. Sam's the best. Okay, he's the best companion in the game, hands down, bar none. Nobody else even comes close. If you don't roll with Sam, you're a gimp. Okay, that's all there is to it. Just keeping it real. He's the strongest. He has the best damage. He has the best armor. He has the best health. And it costs you nothing. Okay? Your companions, the other companions, let's compare him to Vicar Max. You need to tinker up his stuff, which I haven't done because I don't use Vicar Max. That can be expensive. Okay? You may have to buy them guns. You may have to buy them armor. That can be expensive. And depending on your build, that can be a problem. If you're going to use my long guns stealth sniper lone wolf guy, well not lone wolf, but my long guns stealth sniper, you're going to be hurting for bits at level 30. Even with 100 science, it's going to be very expensive to tinker up the assault rifle ultras to 35. In fact, it's almost impossible. Even if you save and scrimp every single bit you can, it's almost impossible to get an assault rifle ultra to 35 as a long gun sniper. Okay, so having to tinker up your companion's gear. Remember, you have to do this all the way through the game. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, all the way through. You're tinkering up their gear. You don't have to do that for Sam. Okay, and look at these numbers here. 7494 health. Hell yeah. Look at these armor ratings. 112 and 112. I did nothing. I didn't touch a thing. Okay? Yeah, look at his range damage. 420. I mean, wow. Okay? Sam is a beast. And Sam's special move is awesome. And Sam is corrosive. And corrosive is the best damage type in the game, bar none, period. Okay? He has the best damage type, he has the best health, best armor, and best range damage, all for 0 bits. No tinkering cost, no purchasing cost. Sam is awesome. Sam's buffs are exactly the same as Vicar Max. Okay? He's awesome. He's just fantastic. Look at Vicar Max and look, Sam's buffs are better. 89, 80, 80. Yeah. He's better. Now you can get Vicar Max's up with gear. Okay? So with gear, you can get Max to be either competitive or slightly better than Sam on some of the buffs. You will never approach Sam's range damage, ever. Okay? And you will never approach Sam's health. You can beat his armor. Okay? You can do it, but just by a little bit. So Sam is the best companion in the game, bar frickin' none. So your companions. If you're going to use
Stop in
companions,
the engine room.
you need to
Would you
make
ask
sure
Parvati to send Sam down
you're
to the
using
bridge?
their special abilities. Sometimes I screw up and I don't take them and I don't use them. You've got to be landing those special abilities, especially on tougher fights. Because again, I use Sam and Felix, and what I like to do is open with Sam if they're grouped up, like on Monarch when you're doing Nyoka's quest, and the Manta Queen comes around the corner with her whole army around her. Opening move is Sam, get in there and splat everybody. That way everybody gets some corrosive PB AoE damage on them. And then that also has a CC on it. It's crowd control. Once that times out, then I send in Felix. Okay, and then usually the fight's over. Um, so yeah, make sure you use their special abilities. You can see them in the bottom left corner. Z is to make them go stand somewhere.
Relocating.
Just aim somewhere, push Z. They won't stay there forever. If you move far enough away, they will eventually move. Okay? But you can use this, like on that Manta Queen battle on Supernova. The Manta Queen comes out there. I put them back there. Because they're just too damn squishy. You know, it's like against Ram. I try to position them. They're going to move here in a minute. Don't make a liar out of me, guys. They will move. I know they'll move. Yeah, see, there you go. Okay. So, but that's helpful. X is to pick a target for them. Okay. So I leave them on aggressive, so I don't have to. And then C and V, those are their special abilities. What have I forgotten? I always forget something. So yeah, to recap, you have 6 companions, obviously. They're in 3 groups of 2. So Ellie and Nyoka, and I call them the lie group because they have lie in common.
Some crew members are causing a disturbance on the ship.
Shut up, Ada. Then you've got Felix and Parvati, that's the persuade group, and you've got Sam and Vicar Max, the intimidate group.
You're adjusting before you pull. You're anticipating it.
I'm always taking Sam.
Of course I'm anticipating.
I'm
What if I
always
shoot
taking
a friend
Sam.
on accident?
And
That's on
then
account of your stance. You want to lean in.
after that, Parvati and Felix give you lockpick, and lockpick is wonderful. It gets you into a lot of really nice places. It's very helpful. Felix gives you sneak. Parvati gives you engineering. Ellie and Nyoka, I would take Nyoka over Ellie all the time, every time. Nyoka's a lot better, but I would only take Nyoka if I'm fighting creatures, right? I would take Vicar Max over Sam only if I was a science weapon build, and I wanted that extra 20% from science weapons. Okay? I still think, even with that, I still think Sam is better. But, yeah, my recommendation is Sam and Felix. If you don't sneak at all, I guess Sam and Parvati. I don't know of an argument for Ellie. If you just like Ellie, if you like her nihilistic, selfish, self-centered worldview, what's wrong with you? But if that's your thing, okay. But again, like I said, this isn't a role playing. This isn't a personal preference video. This is the mechanics. Okay, so Sam and Felix, that's your best group. Sam and Parvati would be a close second, or Vicar Max and Felix if you're science, that would be a close second or close third. These are a lot of if-then statements. And again, we've covered the perks, we've covered the skills. When you're selecting their gear, You want to select gear that matches up the buffs they give you, because they'll give you those buffs and you'll get more skill points. And you want to put them in the heaviest, highest armor factor that you can get them in. That'll help keep them alive. If you just stick them in, here we go, Elite Trooper Gold and Advanced Offensive Gold, and this is just pure armor factor. This is just to keep Pavarti up and alive. Okay, so yeah, that's Companions. I hope you found it useful,
Work with it.
and I'll see you
You're
in the
in
next
control.
video.